Ladies and gentlemen, good evening tonight, and what a show. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know where to begin. Let me just start off by telling you, first of all, get ready. We're going to be talking about everything, and you are going to be, and if I know you like I know you, oh, I'm going to hit nerves tonight. Oh, my God. I'm going to go after all your favorites. You're going to go nuts. You're going to go crazy. That's why I love you. And unlike a lot of people, I pay attention to you. I was watching a great show today. I think it was today. Max Blumenthal and Judge Napolitano. I don't think he ever even mentioned anybody who even was listening. What's the point? Hillbilly 55, come on. Gracie, DB, Smiling Sue, they never. I love when you get upset. I like when you get some horse's ass who comes in. Anyway, hope I'm sounding okay. Let me tell you, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you are subscribed. And listen, let me tell you something. Two things before I forget. Number one, I'm going to tell you right off the bat before we get started. I told you right now, prepare with Lionel. We've got drones the size of SUVs floating over New Jersey. 5, now 50. I don't know what's happening, my friends, but something is about to kick in, and Trump doesn't take over until January the 20th. Get ready. And right now, there is the best deal. We had it during Black Friday. They're still doing it. It is the best. Simply put, it's the 4-week emergency food supply, 2,000 calories a day for $187. Prepare with Lionel.com. Trust me. This is the one you want. I don't give a damn if you go to Costco or Trader Dave's or whatever the hell you go to. You cannot possibly get anywhere near this. 28 days of this, you can't. 2,000 calories a day, 16 varieties in these 4-layer super uranium-proof bucket. Oh, my God. Prepare with Lionel.com. Prepare with Lionel.com. And don't forget one more thing. Don't forget, my friend, wait a minute. There we go. MyPillow.com, MyPillow.com, MyPillow.com. Make sure Christmas is around the corner. Christmas is exactly 13 days away. 13 days away. MyPillow.com. You go, just get a credit card, use promo code Lionel, buy everything they have. All right, fair enough? Everything they have. Now, where do we begin? I don't even know where. I'm going to start off, first of all, with something really, really, really kind of base, nothing that's that interesting. But to me it is. And only because for here we go. It's petty and it's funny. Can you hear me there? Yeah. My mic is for some reason coming in and out. Kimberly Guilfoyle is a nut. All right. I don't know how to say this in any other way, but this is going to be one of the greatest stories ever. Just remember this, and you know it's true. They're putting this stuff out because something's going to go wrong. I don't know what's going to go wrong. Let me bring you up to speed on this. It's one of these things. First of all, the drone stories are incredible. The Luigi story is incredible. But where is the one scorched earth? Oh, MSNBC ratings collapse. This is so terrific. It's, look at this. Guilfoyle's latest nominee accused of sex misconduct. Wait a minute. What? This is from Daily Beat. This is what? What? Why is this coming out now? Why is this coming out now? I don't know why this is coming out now. that could be really kind of crazy conspiracy theory, but I won't. She is, of course, the pick to be America's envoy to Greece, is the latest of his incoming proposed nominees with a history of sexual misconduct allegations. This is according to Yahoo News. Guilfoyle, a former Fox News host, was accused of sexually harassing an assistant at the network, which the New Yorker reported in 2020 resulted in an out-of-court settlement upwards of $4 million. Holy. She denied the allegations at the time of the report, telling the magazine, "I have never engaged in any workplace misconduct." So they said, fine. I'm sure she did. She, of course, she paid up for, and I think the woman, this is a woman, the assistant who worked under Guilfoyle, submitted a draft complaint to Fox executives that accused the former prosecutor of a litany of misconduct. Most striking among them were the claims that she required the woman to work from her home, where she allegedly exposed herself, and showed the assistant pictures of the genitals of men she had slept with. What the hell is going on here? A woman? Wait a minute. What? I noticed a tad there was this Amazonian quality, but what are you talking about? The woman also alleged that Guilfoyle talked at length about her sexual exploits, once demanded a massage on her exposed thighs, and encouraged her to acquiesce to another former Fox employee's demands for sexual favor. Okay. Why do you think this is coming out now? Why? It's very interesting. The same story came out today in the Daily Mail that Don says, you know what happened? Don Jr. wanted somebody who was more casual and fun. Translation, young. Look, you know it and I know it. She's got that creepy kind of, I don't know, that Wildenstein look, that kind of Versace. What is her name? Versace, the Donatella. Weird. Just strange. She was the one who says, the best, Hexit is looking better, but this one is a what? But she's going to be the envoy to Greece. Who cares? Why is this coming out now? Is it limited hangout? No, it doesn't make any sense because she's getting the gig. I don't understand it. But look, you know and I know she is nuts. Okay, let's face it. Let's just stop. Just this whole the whole behavior. Remember she came on. She thought she was so goddamn sexy, and I'm dancing. I'm doing the dance and the dance. Stop it. She was doing that Gloria on January 6th. So that's going to be Trump. And remember this. Remember, prediction from a lot of the people in the peanut gallery. Donnie's going to marry the socialite, kind of more in line with his crew, more in line with like Melania, you know what I mean? More in line with this kind of and then she will go ballistic. Okay. Get ready. Oh my God. Hope there's no pictures, Donnie, because she is. And I want you to listen to me, and I want you to listen good. There's one thing that I know. I know a nut. Okay. I can spot him a mile away. I'm never wrong with this. Okay. By the way, side note, today, Mrs. Ellen and I got our Ed. Ed is every year is our Christmas tree. And when I went on, we got a beauty from this Canadian dude. And I had to carry this thing back, and I had to carry, it is so weird. I was so out of breath. And then as I'm trying to get, because it's got that, wait a minute, it's got that that webbing around it. It's on my buttons. I can't take the damn thing off. When I turn the corner, the wind's coming off of the Hudson, and it's freezing, and it's like a sail. This 6-foot thing with a stand, and it's like a sail, and I've got to hold it. I can't put it over my shoulder. I've got to hold it like on the side. So I'm turning, and I don't know how many blocks we walk, and I'm getting like a cramp. It's like, plus it's in my buttons. I'm like Peter Rabbit. I'm stuck in the thing. I thought I was going to collapse. And then Mrs. L said, "You want to stop?" I was like, "Stop. If I stop, I can't." So anyway, I kept going. You go, why is this going on? Tied it to the Yugo. No, I wish I could have, but I had to walk this baby. Okay. All right. So anyway, we did that one. Next. Tell me you're getting the emails. Tell me you are signed up for the what am I trying to say? That you're signed up. There we go, for the newsletter. I did one today. One that's the latest is out about Al Sharpton, flim flam, shady Al Sharpton, con man, rat, confidential informant. Tomorrow we got a one early in the morning, 6:30. Make sure you sign up. Also, we're going to be talking about the J6 informants and how that thing came about and all of that nonsense. So anyway, just keep in mind, make sure you do that. Make sure, I swear to God, it's they're buttes, not a lot of, not too much reading. People don't want to read. People don't want to read. Do one today on the drones. So Kirby you don't understand this. Have you watched what this is? Have you paid attention as to the size of the drones? Have you seen this? 550. These are SUV. This isn't a little plastic. There are these great threads. Some of the people around New Jersey noticed that when they try to raise or activate their own drones to take a picture, the battery would shut down. Almost eerie. You know what I mean? Very, very eerie. These things they look like, you should see them. They're bigger than anything. So anyway, they're saying Iranian, and about Iranian. But Kirby said, don't worry, but they are manned. He said, we don't know who they are, but don't worry, they're not Iranian. We don't know who they are, but they are propelled. They are propelled. Pilgrim says, what gig will the race hurlers do next? What gig will the race hurlers do next? You're going to see them go berserk when people are taken away en masse. When the illegals are. That's going to be it. Okay. Sparky, ladies and gentlemen, says, aren't those New Jersey drones part of the Drones for Consent program? The government anonymously flies them around for us to use as a false flag and to get the public to demand that Congress pass draconian drone laws. You sound a little bit, this is the old one, and I heard a good man by the name of Owen Schroyer. I like him. He proposed this. This is the how do we say this? This is the old Hegelian dialectic. By the way, Sparky, I was thinking of you. Do you think this is somebody trying to push the Israeli narrative? It's Iran. It's Iran. Oh, and speaking of which, let me tell you something. Before we get to this in a moment, I got a lot of notes here. I'm just going to tell you this. I want you to remember something. Pick the hill you want to die on. If you want to go in this business, if you want to make a big deal, if you want to go after somebody, if you want to take people on, pick the hill you want to die on. Okay? Judge Napolitano, Max Blumenthal, Aaron Mate, they can talk about Israel, and it's never personal. It's never personal. Guess who's got I don't use the expression hair per ass. That's an old kind of but guess who wants to bring it on, and they are going to absolutely clobber her. And you know who they are. It's a collective. Candace Owens. She is just absolutely itching for a fight. She wants to take on Israel, Zionism, Ben Shapiro, Prager. She is going, by God, she's doing everything. The liberty, the dancing Israelis at 9/11, everything. And she does these things. And I saw this today. Somebody sent it to me. She says, I never knew this, but there was a movie called, she's talking about 9/11. I was like, oh, God, be careful. There's a movie called Loose Change. And yeah. Remember last time I was at Cooper Union. We had a conveyance. And I was talking to Dylan Avery. We're yucking it up. Old Dylan. I don't know where he's been. But this is where she is feeling invincible. Remember she went after BLM. I don't know what happened with that. She was at BLM, and I like her. Don't get me wrong. Then she went after. God damn it, she went after Kamala. And Kamala's father was white, and she's white, and they're not white, and they're black, and they're white. Nothing happened. And then by God damn it. So she went. So she's in a pissy match right now, and she's just sowing her oats. And I've seen this. She's bringing it on. She's like saying, come on. And when I say, well, okay, all right, be careful. I've seen this before. This better mean a lot to you. You got to really ask yourself the question, how is it that I want to, what am I trying to bring on? Now, I think these are valid questions. Believe me when I tell you this. The liberty, people always say this. We never say, remember the Alamo, remember the Maine. We always say, our group, remember the liberty. Remember the liberty. This was an American, ship, sunk, strafed by Israeli. And we still haven't figured out what the hell was this really about. I mean, and most people, interestingly enough, don't know anything about it. Just letting you know. This is a fascinating thing right now. And, did you see the CNN story of they were supposedly releasing or rescuing the Syrian who didn't know that Ssed, he was in jail? What? And they're bringing him out? I am free. I am free. Yes, you are free. Did you see this? Absolutely priceless. Clarice, whatever her name is, just watch this one. You watch this. And if you believe this, go ahead. Good for you. God, there's so much stuff going on tonight. So much stuff. MSNBC ratings free fall. Absolutely, they are going to. MSNBC ratings collapse post-election. Fox News surges as cable faces an uncertain future. It is, plummeting. Absolutely plummeting. You understand this? Okay. Carrie Lake to head Voice of America. Poor thing. What the hell is Voice of America? You mean propaganda? Is that Smith-Munt Act? What? Donald Trump has chosen Carrie Lake. Now listen, I know you love Carrie Lake. I understand that, but one night I had the chance to see her speak, okay? And she's very good at what she does, but full of shit, okay? Oh my God. She's good. But they're going to install a staunch loyalist who ran unsuccessfully for Arizona governor and Senate, and then so she's gonna be Voice of America. Now, does anybody know what Voice of America is? I don't even know what the hell that is. Is that like Radio Free Europe? Is it like Radio Marti? Mr. Trump has in the past been a fierce critic of Voice of America, including saying in 2020 that things they say are disgusting toward our country. Well, if we're all for propaganda, I'm all for it. What the hell? Who cares? It doesn't matter. Van Jones trying his Van Jones has absolutely so many issues, and he's trying. I'm just going to leave it at that. Remember what was it? Van Jones? It was it Kim Kardashian or? Oh, I mean, Van, please. Who's that? Trump is going to have a media czar. I love it. Trump, drive him crazy. This is going to be a Trump. What was it called today? A Trump rebellion, a Trump rebellion, a Trump dynasty. This is huge. I love it. Well, listen, let me tell you something. Ivanka, they're talking about Lara. Look, let me explain something to you. All right. Lara, Ivanka, Don Jr., I will take any of them over AOC, over John Kennedy, who is so full of shit, who doesn't do anything other than we have great hearings. Bring them on. If they're loyal, no problem. Evan says propaganda works, and what? You have not heard a Voice of America? I've heard a Voice of America, but where is it? How do you hear it? Yeah, it's been there, but what exactly? Well, let's look it up. VOA, Voice of America English News. Voice of America, U.S. signals conditional support for future of government. Calls rise for accountability in Assad's crimes against journalists in Syria. He's a bad guy, but they're going to Libyanize Syria. You know that, right? Now, let me just say something right now. Admit it. You don't give a damn about Syria. Okay? Maybe Sparky and I are different. You don't give a damn about. Say it. Admit it. You don't give a damn about Syria. And I don't blame you. Say, whatever. You don't give a damn about Gaza. October the 7th. Is that going on again? Did they? Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Oh, we had the election. Yeah. How was Gaza? Bad? Yeah, okay. Oh, whatever. Okay. Well, nobody cares. Americans don't care about that. When it comes to foreign event, we love it. We love the story, and we love to go through it. Anyway, so just believe me when I say that you don't care. It's not that you don't think it's important. You're just saying to yourself, I just don't expect me to get, bent out of shape about it. I don't give a damn about this. Teresa Skinner says, Trump Person of the Year, Time Magazine. You know what it means? Nothing. It means nothing. What's Time Magazine? I think Travel Quest or Gem Cutters Quarterly or Yelp. Time Magazine? Seriously? Time Magazine? Do they make Time Magazine? Do they have Time Magazine? What the hell is, it's like Playboy. Is there a Playboy? Who the hell wants Playboy? Who wants Time Magazine? These are vestiges of something, but it's okay. It's still, Hitler was Man of the Year one year. And meanwhile, have you seen these creepy pictures of Tim Walt? Somehow he sent something to his daughter. By the way, if you don't follow me, if you're not following me on X at Lionel Media, if you are not, I've got stuff that is so great. I sift through this stuff for you. Some of the best stuff. X is the greatest thing in the world. The best. Saw a picture of Jack Dorsey in Mozambique or something worth $5 billion. Pilgrim says, I care about my chocolate mint ice cream. I care about my chocolate. Okay, very good. I will tell you something that is a, remember in Tampa years ago at West Shore Mall. It was a Dipper Dan. They had this ice cream thing. Chocolate, mint chocolate chip, I always thought was right up there. You got that one? Okay. Now, the latest. There's more stuff going on. This is so terrific. Let me see. Gen Z to the rescue. How malls are winning over in-person shoppers. The extreme online life of the American teen. Gen Z to the rescue. How malls are. They always talk about these Gen Z people. Let me tell you what's coming. Little cities. Mrs. L's been talking about this. Little shopping centers, shopping areas, going in toy stores. Absolutely. Okay? You understand that? Here we go. This is so terrific. Warner Brothers Discovery takes step towards spinning off TV channels. 2025 will be massive year for media deals and mergers. No one wants to own cable TV networks anymore. Do you understand this? Hexeth attacked gay troops. This is Trump, Drudge, by the way. This is actually very funny. Meta donates $1 million to Trump. Okay, fine. Bezos, the latest to kiss the ring and the arse. Do you see what's happening? By the way, that Jolie thing, Jolie shines in lifeless, callous biopic. That's the one we were going to go see at the Paris. Adult star planning to sleep with 1,000 men in 24 hours. Okay. I hope they got plenty of penicillin handy to go, because this is going to be something that is not pretty. Okay. And this is very, very sad. Now, let's talk about this. Our friend Luigi Mangioni's dark descent from promising student to murder suspect. Online health rants. IBS, back pain, no sleep. Oh, shut up. You know what you are? Can I say this? And don't take this the wrong way. You're a little pussy is what you are. Oh, my back. Oh, I got spondylolisthesis. Oh, I'm in pain. I can't have sex. Oh, my God. Shut up. Talk to people. Talk to veterans, amputees. You're a little wimp. You're a little swishy. I hate this guy. I hate him. He's made out to be this brilliant person. Prisoners at Pennsylvania jail rally around CEO killer. Shout free Luigi on Twitter. McDonald's workers who identified him get private security. Copycat fears in Manhattan. The pitchforks are here. Let me explain something about this guy once and for all. First of all, he's an idiot. He is an absolute idiot. Sparky says, seems like people are counting out Hezbollah and Ansar Allah too early. They've known for a while Syria has been vulnerable, so likely have been using other supply routes anyway, so can still hit Israel. One of the most incredible stories today was how the United States was, and you realize, Sparky, we're the only people who give a damn about this. You do realize this. And it's not, with all due respect, it's not meant to be rude to people, but he's made out to be this killer, and they love this black and white. You see, Sparky, and I'm glad you brought this up. Americans believe in good guys and bad guys. We are the only person, this fellow, I forget his name, the fellow who's chopping heads off with a $10 million bounty. Now we like him. Sparky also says the stoppage of the PR momentum will hurt the Palestinian cause more than losing Syria as a supply route. Sultan Erdogan may have a tiger by the tail. We'll see. One of the most fascinating issues, Erdogan, remember, who was going to leave NATO and join BRICS, and he's playing it perfectly. Meanwhile, Putin says, listen, with all due respect, Assad, You do realize this. But Sparky, it's over. Right now, America is we're going into the election and we're happy. And Trump is telling Bibi, stay away from me. We'll talk. Let Jared talk to you. But I don't want to see you here. Oh, I don't need this right now. I'm enjoying this too much. How about Xi Jinping maybe coming to the inauguration? Can you imagine that? Oh my God. Everybody else is. This is going to change everything. This is going to change everything. This is going to change everything. And by the way, one more thing, Sparky. One more thing. If somebody ask you, can you please tell me, why does this matter to me? And the only thing that we always say is, well, the only thing that matters to an American is that your gas may go up. If the Strait of Hormuz is somehow, if a ship is scuttled, you know how when you make that weird turn, there's a very small lane. You have the Houthis at the Bab al-Abda, whatever, the Gate of Tears, which also leads up to the Red Sea, up to the Suez Canal. We got that one there. We got shipping lanes also. That can affect oil, because remember, Americans don't care anything about this. You're talking about Palestinians and this or that. Yeah. Does it affect us? No. Okay, whatever. That's America for you. And that's exactly what's going on. And you know, and I know that Marco Rubio is going to do one hell of a job as our Secretary of State. Oh my God. Also, fascinating stories about crypto. Fascinating stories about crypto and where all of this is going. And one of the things which is interesting is that we're going to have to explain to young people this thing called money again. And I'm telling you, while everything is doing great, people are thinking terrific. When it comes to debt, when it comes to crippling debt that so many people are forced to deal with and to apply, it is something that, well, here's what you should do. For somebody you love, maybe yourself, who find yourself being strangled by debt. Listen to this. New reports reveal that the average person has $8,674 in credit card debt. Plus, the total average consumer debt is a shocking $104,215 between mortgages, auto loans, student loans, credit cards, and unsecured loans. Unfortunately, without outside assistance, many will continue digging themselves deeper and deeper into the hole of debt. Now, I've advised and counseled friends and clients for years who want to take back control of individual debt about this secret weapon that has helped so many consolidate everything owed into one affordable monthly payment. They even help negotiate a settlement agreement that will allow you to pay less than the total balance. Listen, they settled over $275 million in debt, and they've helped people become debt-free in an average of 28 months. I've had such an incredible experience referring clients and friends that I wanted to partner with them here and introduce their services to you, my loyal Lionel Nation family. If you want a helping hand to get out of debt, I absolutely, positively, and strenuously recommend booking a free consultation now by going to nodebtwithlionel.com. Look at the address. Once again, that's nodebtwithlionel.com. Use the link I've provided under the title. Listen to me. You can take control and learn how to get out of debt now. You know, perhaps one of the best things that I think our friend Mr. Sparky has written is that Americans don't deal well with nuance. They want a bottom line. Explain nuance details to them, and what do they say? Is that good or bad? Or as you say, doog. The notion of the Manichaean. The Manichaean, what exactly is that? How is man? Manichaeanism, this Gnostic religion. And the Manichaean view is, of course, is you believe in dualism. You tend to look at things as having two sides that are opposed. Good and bad, light and dark, up and down. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And that's one of the things which I find fascinating. I've asked people this so many times. I said, what happens if I said to you, today, for our Sir Toma luncheon, we have a special guest, a decorated Vietnam hero, a veritable hero, a Vietnam hero. That's right. And this hero, this Vietnam hero, was going to be speaking about his travails and his experiences in Vietnam. He was a general, and his name is General Nguyen Bao Ki. Wait a minute, what? That's right. He was with the North Vietnamese. The North Vietnamese, yes. He's with the NVA? Yes. What the hell is he doing here? Well, he's a hero. What do you mean he's a hero? He's a hero. He's an absolute hero. Wait a minute. He's their hero. Well, you didn't specify. He's a hero. What do you think Paul Tibbets from the Enola Gay seems to be like to folks who were in Hiroshima? Is he a hero? I don't think so. I don't think so. So when you talk about good or bad and how does it help and who are the good guys, and Zelensky, as you know, was basically making it horrible, horrifying for Christians. Somebody cares about that, but I don't want to spend too much time. I want to talk about the notion of my friend, Mr. Luigi. And I want to ask this question. And the more I think about it, the more I'm convinced. I ask you the question today. If you were in that McDonald's in Altoona, this is a genius, by the way. And you, by the way, his little manifesto is like a half a page. It's nothing. You can't get even near the work of Ted Kaczynski, who was a bona fide genius. Okay? Just because you're the valedictorian at a prep school doesn't mean anything, because most of the people who are at the prep school mean they can afford the tuition. But anyway, I'm not trying to belittle it. But let me ask you this question. Would you sit there? Would you call the police? Honest to God? Now, oh, I love this. Evan says, you're on repeat, Lenny. Oh, no, Evan. You mean I can't bring up another story again? You mean with all of the stories today about how this McDonald's worker has private security and people on every platform you can imagine was asking this very question? Do you really mean that? Do you mean that, Evan? Is that what you mean? I'm on repeat. Did you mean what you said when you wrote that? Is that your attempt to be funny? Were you being sarcastic, sardonic? Seriously, is this important? Which app do you want to open? I don't want any app open. Somebody suggested I have a unibrow. I do not have a unibrow. Would you shut up? She's going, I don't want anything open. Evan says, no, just stating the truth. Evan's, but he's doubling down. Evan, should I not mention this question? Is that what you're suggesting, Evan? Should I not ask this question? Anyway, should I not do this? This is very good. This is, Teresa Skinner says, Trump portrait on Time cover is quite something. It is something. Are we repeating ourselves, Teresa? Are we repeating ourselves? I don't know about that. Is that okay, Evan? Can we do this? Is that okay, Evan? Can we repeat that? I'm talking about Trump again. Is that okay? Is that okay with you? We were mentioning Syria. I'm talking about that. I don't know a new subject that the drones in my. Oh, we already talked about that too. Trump talked about that too. Luigi talked about that too. I don't understand why, Evan. Why? Even now you got OA upset. She's asking why. What's going on here? Lionel is cranky tonight. Null says I'm cranky. Should I be not cranky? You're repeating yourself, Null. You're repeating yourself. You've said this before. Now stop it. Sparky says, the great George Galloway is dismayed at the number of well-meaning Palestinian cause supporters who cheer the downfall of Assad. They don't understand reality but can follow a complex soap opera. Yes, I agree 100%. And Mr. Galloway is most feisty himself. And he, you know what he does? He talks about the same thing too. Judge Napolitano, Mearsheimer's the worst. He keeps talking about China and Russia and Ukraine over and over again. It's it's something else. So here's the bottom line. One thing that people have to recognize, and this is the same way. Oh, look at this. Ritter said the same as Galloway. He does. Scott Ritter is terrific. Nelson A says, you can say or do what you want. It's your show, Mr. L. Can't wait for Ventilation Friday. By the way, tomorrow we're going to do that, but we're going to do it at 4 p.m. If that's okay with Evan, because I don't want to repeat myself. But we're going to be doing it at 4 because we have an event tomorrow night. We have an event, which is always very good. Mr. Dell has a good time. And I will do my best to attend the event and to enjoy myself. I will do what I can, to remember last year at this event, I had some kind of a disease. It wasn't COVID, but I was in bed for like 3 days. It was a monster flu. It just killed me. That was a wonderful thing. Null Hypothesis says, Lionel Nation loves Mrs. Lynn. Lionel, I don't know what that means. I know you meant to be funny. I know in your heart of heart you said this is going to be funny. And I think I know what you're saying. I think I know. In any event, so Luigi, what's going to happen with him? Wait a minute. Here's Crypto. Crypto says, Uncle Mrs. L, you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Sure. I don't know what you're going to do to replicate that, but that's okay. In any event, I was listening today to a show talking about trying to figure out this Luigi. And why is everybody saying, do you think he's that smart? I know I'm repeating myself. I know. I know I'm saying this all name. Because I was listening today to a friend of mine. He was repeating himself too. He was doing a show on a radio show. Mark Simone. He repeats himself all the time. He talks about Trump, talks about New York, talks about all this stuff. It's the damnedest thing. And it's funny. A lot of these topics, you talk about them a lot. Yankees, sports shows. They talk about the Yankees all the time. Completely repeating themselves. But anyway, so they kept saying about how wonderfully brilliant he was. And the thing that I do not understand, the first question is, before we get into this, I want to know how people think that they're going to prove it's him. Now, I know this is tough, and I'm going to say this again. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, did the state of New York, the state of New York, did they prove beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt that Luigi Mangione, in fact, killed Mr. Thompson? Did they? Well, he was in New York. Okay. Is he charged with being in New York? No, he wasn't. He's not charged with that. What else? Well, he might have stayed at that hostel. Crypto says, ha. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Was he at the hostel? Yes. Did he use a fake ID? I believe he did. Okay. Did he lower his mask to flirt with that woman? He's a flirt. Did he? Yes, he did. Okay, we'll give you that one. What else? He wrote his manifesto, right? I sound like Jiminy Glick. Manifesto. All right. And what he said, I'm acting alone. You're acting alone. What? Now, unless there's something in it, it seems like it was a planned event. What I'm going to do is this. 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 Is that enough to convict him? I don't know. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the evidence? Now, if you said that gun that he had on him fires a round that that matches the bullet that was found in Mr. Thompson by virtue of the rifling, and we have yet to be able to figure out whether ghost guns have rifling, whether they had the ballistics, I don't know. But short of that, that would do it. A confession would be nice. I did it. Not I wanted to do it. I've got Crohn's disease and my neck hurts and I can't have sex. I'm not talking about that. Does this make any sense to you? Now, here we go. Janine says, gun matches. No, the gun doesn't match. Bullets match. No. Tish, the New York City commissioner, said the casings matched. What does that mean? Prints near the scene? Okay. You know how many other people had? All the people in the Starbucks, their prints were at the scene too. All the people around there, people walking around, they were at the scene. All these other people were there. Could it be somebody else? I don't know. How do you know he shot this person? Not that he was there. There are people who still don't believe Lee Harvey Oswald, including me, believe that Lee Harvey Oswald, he was in Dallas. He was in the Texas School Book Depository. Is that good enough? Think about this. I like this one. Null says, New York City jury will convict. They are lapdogs. No, I think they might not convict because they are lefties. And the only thing that was different with the Daniel Penny case was because they happened to be themselves riders on subways. And they might have been able to appreciate what Mr. Penny did. You might get some sick bastard who looks up to Mr. Mangione and think that, you know what, I had a I don't like these people. I don't like these. I'm starting off right now. I don't really care that I don't like the victim. I don't like the victim. I had a case like that one time where the victim was scarier than the defendant. The victim was scary dude. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. So you start off right now thinking, I don't like this guy. Not, for example, she was a grandmother, 85 years old. She used to wrap bandages and darn socks for the boys overseas. She used to make Kool-Aid and cookies for the kids. They loved her. She was a wonderful lady. Oh, it's like, for example, who was it? One of the guys that I think one of the women that people that the night stalker Richard Ramirez got was this nice old lady. I mean, it was horrible what he did, but they don't like the victim already. You don't think that makes a difference? Already they're thinking like, I'm not too crazy about this guy. I thought they're going to be asking, are you going to be able to read this stuff into evidence? Are you going to read stuff into evidence? You think it may come in? Well, why is it coming in? It shows his state of mind. What does that mean? Because he wanted to kill her? There was a motivation? Let me tell you something. If you think it's easy to prove that somebody who just says, I hate this person, husbands and wives who hate each other, and you're going to prove or try to prove the murder of one of the spouses by the other just by virtue of the stuff that they've hated each other or they've said things, that's not enough. Pilgrim says jury nullification is a possibility. It always is. A jury can always say, you know what? We don't really care. We're not going to find them guilty. We're either going to give you a not guilty, an acquittal, or a hung jury. We're just not into this. We're not into this stuff. There were people who loved John Gotti. Gotti was the greatest. They loved him, and they always talk about how Sammy the Bull. Remember this? How he bought off a juror. He bought off. Well, you got to buy 12 of them. Buying off one will get you a hung jury, but these were acquittals. These weren't hung juries. These were acquittals. I mean, anyway, so this is tougher. And people are thinking, well, they've got the gun. No, they don't have the gun. They've got a gun. It's not the gun. How do you know that's the gun, not a gun? And his fingerprints don't mean anything. Someone at the scene. There was a candy wrapper, the kind candy bars. Fine. And there was a bottle with it. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So what? What does that mean? You're going to extrapolate that? Huh? I don't think so. I don't think so. I need... Was he yelling, I'm a patsy? Very good. I need somebody to tell me how they connect the gun. That's it. How they connect the gun. In fact, you could even fact that, does this guy look like he's on the lam? What was he in New York for? Who cares? He's not going to testify. Does this guy goes to McDonald's? He's sitting there wearing that. You know what gave him up probably, which made him look so creepy, was that stupid mask. He was probably wearing the mask like most people wear the mask in order to hide his face versus getting COVID. So let me just tell you something. We'll see what happens with this. He is not a genius. Now, Shelby says, in the court of common sense, he's guilty. Now, Shelby, you know and I know. He killed him. Can you prove it? What'd you have for breakfast this morning, Shelby? Is that all right, Evan? I've asked this question in the past. What'd you have for breakfast this morning? What'd you have, Shelby? Huh? I believe you. I believe what you tell me. Can you prove it? Can you prove it? If you have to prove that you had a bagel and whatever it is, I might have to find you not guilty because you didn't prove it. I have to find you not guilty of having this because you didn't prove that you have it, because it's just your word. And maybe I take your word for it, but that's not enough to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And you say, but I had a bagel. Can you prove it? No, I can't prove it. But why would I lie? Well, just because I know doesn't mean you can prove. Remember one thing about religion, which is very interesting. If there was proof, you wouldn't need faith. Just want to remind you of that. Now, here we go. Faye Dalton says 3D printing of a firearm is not an uncomplicated event. It takes some expertise and proper equipment. It would be interesting to hear if he did it himself or obtained it elsewhere. That's an excellent question. Now, Christoph, Mr. Michel, let me ask you a question. Did he print the barrel? And if there is a barrel, does the barrel have rifling? Can we do a ballistics? I think they said the markings on the casing. It might be because of the pin, firing pin, right? I don't know. These are important. Here we go. The fact that he is a relative of somebody the Pelosi's knows that had previously dealing with the Pelosi's blows my mind. Well, yeah, but does that really matter? Confession, you cannot print a steel barrel. But Scott, I know that, but can you print something that has rifling? Can you print a plastic? By the way, I don't know how many times you can use this. I don't know what particular substance he's going to have. This hard plastic. These are all questions which I want to know. Let me see what else is here. Here in the island where I live, 3D print full guns all the time. I know there are, how do I say this? I know they do this, but that's a lot of work. That is a lot of work. Doesn't that do something? It's one of these things that just, in any event, dear friends, think about this. I want to know, does the rifling show up? Can you check zip? Remember, zip guns were great too. Zip guns. There's other things that don't have. I don't believe, for example, a Derringer has rifling. Our good friend Sparky says Putin should wait and see if Trump drains the swamp before signing agreements. Deep state could nullify them as needed once Trump's term is over. Putin should feel snake bit after Minsk 1 and 2. Agree 100%. And you know that Putin would love to sit and talk with the Donald. Isn't it great, Sparky, not to see Antony Blinken? Not Anthony, Antony. Antony. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? My friends, one more thing. Oh, wait, hang on a minute. Jonathan Kiner says there's 3 versions of the guy. The one with the normal eyebrow, the unibrow, and the one where her is ripped like Rambo. None add up. We will get to that. We will get to that. It's also important to see whether this fellow says it's somebody else. Isn't it interesting, though, that he just happens to be in a place? And by the way, what about the picture of him where he's pulling down the mask? Is that him? Does that look like him? Remember when people thought he was a woman? Remember this? Remember when people said, I think it's a woman. He looks like a woman. You remember that? Ooh. Did we ever find out why he peed in or peed his pants? He apparently lost control of his bladder. Did you see this? Oh, there's a picture of him standing in front of yeah. In jail? Yeah. He did it on purpose? Don't know. It's one of those things we just don't know. You mean when he was arrested? When he was standing there, the tall picture where he's got the blue Columbia shirt on, it appears as though he micturated himself. Sparky says Putin always seems too happy to deal with Trump and may forget that Trump's only there for 4 years. Well, also remember the problem, Sparky, is that we've got this idiot by the name of Marco Rubio and Elise Stefanik and Mike Huckabee. And I mean, those are extraneous, but those are going to be a bit of a problem. I hope somebody reels them in. But my friends, before we forget, may I remind you of something? Right now, the particular device that you're watching me on right now, I hope this is okay, Evan, because I'm repeating myself. Just want to let you know. You might want to leave the room, my friend, but your information, your data could be compromised, and I don't want that to happen. Now, what can you do to prevent that? Funny you should ask. Let me ask you a question. When's the last time you checked your devices for malware? Malware attacks have increased 643% since 2020, with approximately 10 million personal and corporate devices compromised with data stealing malware in just the last year alone. Additionally, 19.8% of computers face at least one malware attack annually. This emphasizes the critical need for individual users to protect themselves, their devices, and their data. This is why I use today's sponsor, Virtual Shield Antivirus Pro, and I love the peace of mind it gives me. Virtual Shield Antivirus Pro is an award-winning antivirus with real-time protection, malware removal, ad blocking, scheduled scans, multi-device protection, and more that stops malicious downloads in their tracks. Without Virtual Shield Antivirus Pro, I would risk my finances, banking details, personal data, and more getting into the hands of cyber criminals. Thanks again to Virtual Shield Antivirus Pro for sponsoring today's extravaganza. And do yourself a favor and sign up for a free 7-day free trial, of Virtual Shield Antivirus Pro during their early Black Friday sale happening now, and get up to 75% off. Yes, you heard that. Up to 75% off. Only at virtualshield.com/Lionel. Once again, that's virtualshield.com/Lionel. I want to give you an idea of why you should be also signing up for the newsletters. Let me give you a couple of titles. The latest one this evening was Flim Flam Al Shady Sharpton pocketed $1 million in bonuses from his phony National Action Network nonprofit. And then there was mysterious drone activity revealed as, quote, lawfully operated manned aircraft, whatever the hell that means. Prior to that, clueless Pentagon denies claim that mystery drones are from Iranian mothership. Next, the CIA menticide, which is brainwashing, MKUltra, and the perpetual quest for the targeted Manchurian candidate. Do you know how great this stuff is? This is the most incredible thing in the world. Teresa Skinner says, I will talk about Jimmy Hoffa forever. Evan says, people left and right are not lacking empathy. People left and right are not lacking empathy. Didn't you say that before? Didn't you say that? I'm not sure. Sparky says the whole reasonable world has an air of optimism about upcoming Trump administration. Hope we're right. Isn't it nice though to feel? And by the way, Mr. Mike, thank you so much for your joining the club. Isn't it nice that people feel good about this? Isn't it good? Doesn't that make you feel like, thank God? Let me also, if I could, give you some other great titles. Luigi the Killer debuts the Sicilian flu as he lays the groundwork for an insanity defense. When Albert Anastasia whacked Arnold Schuster for ratting out Willie Sutton. I think one of the best storylines ever. Alvin Bragg's opposition to President Trump's motion to dismiss an injustice. Luigi the Killer debuts. Oh, I've never said that. The sickening canonization of a killer. Luigi Mangioni's legacy must be one of revulsion. Justice at long last for Daniel Penny, and he goes on. Everything you need to know about CEO assassination suspect Mangione. I wait to hear also about how his family were these horrible people who had these not horrible people, but had these convalescent centers, these old folks places where they were not exactly necessarily up to par over the subject of a lot of complaints and the like. So it's interesting. Why he was so so upset about his back, I have no idea. Sparky says, it'd be a great troll if Sultan Erdogan starts showing up for international conferences in a sedan chair. Wouldn't that be something? Or wearing those shoes, which is more Arabic, those shoes with the curly points like, the genie. Remember what Turkey and the Ottoman Empire and this whole, the Ottomans are different. And they make a nice little hassock, as people would call it, or an ottoman, for those of you who care. I don't want to repeat myself. Sparky, Evan, Therese Skinner. Thank you so much, Crypto Domine. Jonathan Kiner. Ladies and gentlemen, Null Hypothesis. Vague, but decent. Pilgrim Media, thank you. Crypto Domine, thank you. Nelson A. The Enigmatic, I think I said Therese Skinner. Thank you. Pilgrim Media, thank you so much. Let me see. And the Brad. a good man, the Brad, in his own unique way. All right, dear friends, we'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Make sure you subscribe to Lionel Nation, 9 a.m. Also, make sure that you follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Also, our other channel, Lionel Legal. And then tomorrow, what are you doing? Then tomorrow, we're going to be at 4 o'clock. We're going to do our weekend thing because I'm going to have to. We have an engagement. 'Tis the season. I'm not one for entertaining or doing anything, but on this rare occasion, I'm going to do it. In any event, Crypto said, "Missed one of mine, sir." Uh-oh. Hang on a minute. Just a minute. Crypto says, oh, here we go. Says, I've had to have seen, and I have had to have seen a Law and Order episode where the firing pin being less than half the evidence is inadmissible because it's not enough. I don't know if it's inadmissible, but it certainly may not be enough to render a verdict or a conviction. But I think it has some, unless an expert can say, no, this firing pin has a unique design. It's a diamond, and I've never seen one of, maybe. But remember, she said, Tish the commish said it was the casings. All right? Okay. All right, my friends, have a great and glorious night. Thanks for being with us, and don't ever change. I mean that sincerely. And until tomorrow at 9 a.m., remember, the monkey's dead. Show's over. Sue ya.